I've got it slicked up real nice. The kind of paint that I'm using will paint over fiberglass very nicely, so I don't have to worry about those places right there because it's a dark color. And welcome back to the channel, and got an interesting thing happening today. I'm actually working on two different cars at once today, so I'm going to make two short videos instead of one long video. Now, in the other video I might have already mentioned the fact that I'm working on the 32 in addition to the Cobra, but I'll leave that one to the Cobra. This one I'm going to talk about what I'm doing on the 32. As you recall, I brought the dash, the header panel, and the window moldings home so I could prep them and paint them here. That is what I'm doing today, and after that, later on this weekend, I'm going to be spraying primer both on the Cobra body and on the hood of the 32. Once I get the hood on the 32 primed, I go back with 400 wet sanding it, and we'll prime it one more time so I can get it caught up. But this is on the 32, getting to work on the paint for the interior pieces. Let's take a look. I'm a little bit at odds with myself right now on what's going to be coming next on the Cobra. I can do more body work, of course, because that is certainly ready to go, and I kind of had thoughts of maybe squirting the first round of high build primer onto the body, which I will do this weekend, I'm thinking. But I also, in 2 weeks, am going to where the 32 Ford is to actually wet sand everything 600 and paint it. The hood for the 32 is only at the 320 block stage, so I need to spray some primer on it. I need to wet sand it with 400 and spray another load of primer on it, and then it is at the same level as the other. In the meantime, I do have the primer and all of the necessary stuff to finish the dash and the window moldings, as well as some other various internal pieces. They're going to be the same color as the wheels, which is a Ford factory color called Magnetic. It is a new color, or not a new color, but a recent color from Ford called Magnetic. It's a very dark metallic gray. So I will probably spend the next couple of hours sanding the gel coat off of the window moldings. I've already got the dash and the header panel and a few other pieces done, so I've got to do the door window moldings and the rear window molding, and it should be ready to prime those and wet sand those. So that's probably what's going to come next. All right, a few hours into this, let me show you what I'm done. I've been spending the last couple of hours working on the dash and the overhead cover for the 32. Let's take a look at what I've got going here. I've got it slicked up real nice. The kind of paint that I'm using will paint over fiberglass very nicely, so I don't have to worry about those places right there because it's a dark color and it will blend in nicely. But this is slicked off and ready for the first coat of base coat. Here we go. All right, the first coat or two of base coat is done on the header panel and on the dash on the 32. I have to say so, it laid down really well. Now whenever I have a small number of pieces like this, the only thing I left I'm going to do are those window moldings there. I don't like to have to mix up an entire canister of paint in my paint gun and paint it. Have a lot of waste that way. It's a lot more of a problem. English Color, Scott at English Color, the same people that I order my paints from all the time here in McKinney, can mix me up some rattle cans. And these are basically just custom mix. I gave him the paint code. He said he'd have it ready in 15 minutes. And the time it took me to get there, it was waiting on me on the counter. Very reasonable price, and it's a lot easier and a lot less wasteful than mixing it up out of like a quarter a gallon can. So this laid down really good. I may lay one more coat on it and then come back with clear. So to be continued. And here we are after 2 or 3 coats of clear on the dash and on the header panel. Came out very nice. I wanted it to have just a little bit of a texture since these are interior pieces. I didn't want them to be just absolutely gloss shiny. And I have to say it turned out exactly how I wanted it to. Let those dry. I'll start on the window moldings. Okay, I wanted to get out here in the sun and just show just how beautiful this color really is, how magnificently it turned out. Again, these are just the interior pieces. They match the wheels. The interior is going to be black leather, but the windshield molding, the window moldings, the header panel, and the dashboard are all going to be this color. Very, very happy with the way this came out. Okay, slight detour. I had to run to the parts store and get a can of primer because I ran out. These are primed, and as soon as they dry off, we're going to wet sand them with 400, clean them up, and paint them. I've still got the rear window molding over there. It's ready for primer. Haven't decided if I'm going to prime and paint it as of yet because I've still got to drill some holes in it, but I don't know where the location of the holes are. So I'm working on that. These coated up very nicely. And here we are again. This time got them nice and slicked up. Just so you know, before painting, I do clean with a brand new microfiber towel and this prep oil. It cleans the grease, all the dirt and everything, you know, stuff from my hands and things like that, should I touch it and such. But these are ready to shoot. So it's time to start shooting some paint again. And here we are back. Base coat is painted. I've got really good coverage, nice smooth coverage with the base coat. So I'm going to let this flash for about 30 minutes and then come back and hit it with clear. And here we are after 3 coats of clear. It's got a very nice sheen to it, very even out. It leveled out nicely. I'll try to get it out in the sun here in just a moment and show you what it looks like in the sunlight, but I've got very good coverage. I discovered, strangely, on YouTube, I was watching a channel of a gentleman called Random Works. He's building a Factory 5 car, and he's got some, you ought to check it out. He's got some really, really cool modifications and personal touches to his car that he's doing. But he had heard from a friend of his that to spray a heavy metallic like this, and as you can see, it is a very heavy metallic. The last coat of the base coat, what they recommended is a mist coat from about 12 to 18 inches away with your gun. I've tried that technique on this today, and I have to say I am extraordinarily pleased with the results. You can see my metallic is very even. There's no blotching, and it laid on nicely. Let me see if I can move this into the sunlight so you can get a better look of how the color looks. And of course, as soon as I move out here, the sun goes back behind the clouds, so I'm not going to really be able to show you much. But let me just tell you, this color really pops in direct sunlight. The level of metallic is outstanding. Very happy with the way this turned out. Well, the weather forecast that they're predicting for the next couple of days is going to be hot and muggy throughout the day, and then in the evening a chance of severe thunderstorms. I've got my hail protector deployed on the 68. The Bug, of course, is right here. It's a work in progress. It'll be fine. My Mustang is parked in there in the shop next to the Cobra, and we're going to call it with this one. I'll get back to work again tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to shoot some primer on the Cobra and on the 32 hood. Thank you for watching. Please hit subscribe and continue to stay tuned because we do have more stuff coming up. 3 projects at once. Let's get started. Thanks. See you next time.